Tonight, this chapter of the story comes to a close. 36 days ago, 18 players returned to the BBH house. 15 of them left with nothing. And now we're down to 3. Michael, by a vote of 9-2. Unfortunately, Michael, this is the end of the road. You have been evicted from the Big Brother Hometown's 16 house. Michael, the social butterfly of the season, whose time in the game was cut drastically short in BBH 16, is now looking to return triumphant on finale night. Liv. And the winner of Big Brother Hometown Season 16. Congratulations, Elise, you are our winner. Liv returned to the BBH house, having fallen just short of the title in BBH 16. A threat in any competition, this strategic player maneuvered throughout the season and is now one step away from the title. Megs. By a vote of 3-1, Megs, you've been evicted from the BBH 17 house. Floor is yours. Returning to BBH after a live night elimination in BBH 17, won important competitions, avoided the block, and now sits here at the finale. Who will win? Who will lose? It all happens tonight live on the Big Brother Hometown Season 20 finale. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Big Brother Hometown's Season 20 grand finale. I'm your host of the night, Josh, and I'm so excited to be here. This season, in a lot of ways, is a dream. It is a culmination of this little idea I had 5 years ago that's turned into something much greater than I could have ever anticipated. I've met some of the greatest people I could have ever known in my life through this. I have an incredible team of production and friends that help me run this thing now, and 18 people who have left a mark on the game in one way or the other are back, and we're back for the last 30 whatever I said in that video days that leads all to this night. I am incredibly excited. I have the butterflies, probably not as much as the players do right now, but I'm ready to get to this. I'm going to very quickly just say hey to my prod team that is here. It's only a few of them because a lot of them are over with the jury on the jury call right now, but I'm going to bring them in. It's Max, Lee, and Carl. Anyone anything to say before we get started?
I'm so excited to welcome another friend into the BBH Winner's Circle. There's always room for one more. And for such a landmark season as this, it's just super special. So this night never gets old, and I'm just looking forward to a great finale.
I'm ready to console another person in the BBH runner-up club.
Yes.
Carl, anything? You've said a lot
of
any
of those statements, but I've had a pleasure recapping these 3 and the other 15 people for 30-something days at this point. So I'm sad for it's all in, but I'm super excited to see how this chapter concludes.
Well, let's get to it tonight. If you are just hopping on to the BBH 20 game here on the last day to watch, here's what you will see tonight. Megs and Liv will compete in part 3 of the final HOH here in just a moment. The winner of that will cast a sole vote to evict. After hearing the final pitches of the remaining 2, they'll cast their sole vote to evict. Then the finalists will take a second to breathe. Not much of a second, because then we will jump into our opening statements. Then we'll bring in the 9 jury members one at a time to question our final 2. Then our finalists will give their closing statements. We'll pause to collect the jury votes, and then we will crown a winner finally. It's been a long time coming. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to bring on Megs and Liv for part 3 of the final HOH. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Hello.
Hope you're both well. You both earned your way here to part 3, let alone to the final 3. But here at part 3 of the final HOH, and we're going to get right to it. This should come as no shock to you as what we're about to do. Welcome to part 3 of the final HOH. For this challenge, you will need 2 or 1 piece of paper. On one write A, on the other write B. Yeah, you're way ahead of me. We've done it for 19 straight seasons. We weren't going to stop now. This is a BBH classic. It's called Jury Questions. This challenge is played in 8 rounds. In each round, I will read a question we asked a particular juror, followed by 2 possible responses. It is your job to identify which response the juror actually said. The player who correctly answers the most questions will win the final HOH of the season. If there's a tie, you know what we'll do. Best
Let me win.
I have a feeling that if we get to a tiebreaker, there may not be a thrown tiebreaker this time around. So, so let's do it. Are we ready? Question number 1. When Louise was asked her favorite part of the game, she said A, being pure evil, or B, highlighting the greatness of the McChicken. When Louise was asked her favorite part of the game, she said A, being pure evil, or B, highlighting the greatness of the McChicken. Of course, hold it up to yourself so I know that you're ready. And reveal. You both say B, and you are both wrong. It was the pure evil of it all. So we are at 0-0 after question 1. Question 2. When Nikki was asked who was robbed, she said A, Caro, B, Erica. When Nikki was asked who was robbed, she said A, Caro, or B, Erica. And reveal. Liv says B, Erica. Megs says A, Caro. And the correct answer is Erica. And Liv is on the board. Question number 3. When Sarah was asked her biggest regret in the game, she said A, thinking the game was more fluid than it actually was, or B, assuming people would respect open communication. When Sarah was asked her biggest regret in the game, she said A, thinking the game was more fluid than it actually was, or B, assuming people would respect open communication. All right, reveal. You both say A. The correct answer was B, assuming people would respect open communication. After 3 questions, it's still Liv 1-0. Question number 4. When asked what he was most proud of from the season, Jabbar said, making the decision to evict Caro, or B, surviving the block against Louise. When asked what he was most proud of from the season, Jabbar said A, making the decision to evict Caro, or B, surviving the block against Louise. And reveal. You both say A, making the decision to evict Caro, and you are correct. Liv 2, Megs 1. We head to question number 5. When asked what she values as a juror, Megan said A, having agency in the game, or B, ownership of your game. When asked what she values as a juror, Megan said A, having agency in the game, or B, ownership of your game. All right, please reveal. Liv says A, agency. Meg says B, ownership of your game. And we are tied up. It is B, ownership of your game. 3 questions remain. Question number 6. When asked the hardest part of the game, Erica said A, voting out Preston, or B, live night. When asked the hardest part of the game, Erica said A, voting out Preston, or B, live night. And reveal. Says A, Liv says B. The correct answer is voting out Preston, and Megs takes a 1-point lead with 2 questions remaining. When asked his favorite competition, Trey said A, what the bleep, or B, sea salt and paper. And reveal. We'll say B, sea salt and paper. That is correct. So it comes down to the final question with Megs up by 1. Here's the question. When asked who the least trustworthy player in the game was, Lamont said A, Lamont, or B, Trey. When asked who the least trustworthy player in the game was, Lamont said A, Lamont, or B, Trey. And reveal. The correct answer is Lamont. And Megs, congratulations. You have won the final head of household. We are going to bring Michael in. Well done to both of you. That was tough. And here's what we're going to do in just a moment. Both Michael and Liv are going to pitch to Megs as to why she should take them to the final 2. And then Megs will make her decision. Michael, I will let you go first.
Oh my God. I don't know what to say right now. we worked so closely through this entire game. I've trusted you through all of this. I love you, top to bottom. I'm not sure what you think would be the best for your game, and I know that this factors into the decision as well. I have zero regrets of working through this with you and looking out for you and all of the above. I don't know what else to say. Holy smokes, right now, I am sweating at this moment in time. I feel like I should have something better to say right now. But I love you. You're the best. Congratulations, first and foremost. Well, that's not first. This would have been like eighth. But congratulations. You deserve a good job. I guess that's it. I might have regrets after going back on mute, but thank you so much. You have a good one. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Liv.
Hey, Megs. I know we had a talk earlier, and I just would really, really love to sit next to you in the final two shares. I really think you still have a very solid shot to win this thing, and I hope that you have enough confidence in your game and that, like, we can see this thing out. I know we've had, ups and downs in our relationship, and I'm so proud of how far it's come. And I just, as I was expressing to you earlier, really would like this chance to just sit in the final two with you and plead my case. I think that it could be perceived as like a scared decision to take Michael. And I think we've talked, like, I think Michael still has a high potential to win this game. And I think you have more direct talking points if you were able to go up against me. I think Michael's decision to save you at Final Four really speaks to his game more than yours. And so I just wish that, you would face off against me in the final two. I think your game speaks for itself, and I would really appreciate the chance to go up against you here. And I think that you still have the shot to win. So I think that you should take the dominant approach you have taken to this game and take me over Michael. I would just love to sit against you. And even though, like, it may not be the best outcome, but, like, help me at least meet my placement, Megs. And I just would love if, just everything we said earlier, if I would have liked to give you that chance, and I just hope that you can give that to me here. I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Liv. All right, Megs, the floor is yours.
I love both of you, and I've enjoyed playing this game with both of you. And Liv, I respect your game so much, and I've had so much fun playing with you and against you and playing this spy versus spy game. But Michael has been my number one, and I owe my game life to him. And I really think that he deserves to speak his game and have his spot on the floor. So, Liv, I do vote to evict you here.
Liv, congratulations on an unbelievable journey, an unbelievable game. Someone said it a second ago, but you already know this. That congratulations, Megs. You're the only person to ever vote Liv out of this game in 2 seasons, and that is pretty incredible. The most consecutive days ever played without getting voted out in all 20 seasons by far. But that's only just a small statistic in the BBH journey of Olivia Pearson, and I am incredibly proud of you and appreciate everything you've given to this game and more. But unfortunately, it does. And right here, we're going to send you to the jury where they're going to welcome you with open arms. And if they don't, I will come throw hands. So, and I think they will. Would you have any final words before we send you that way?
I don't think so. I think, I've said words to both of you in these last few days, but good luck to both of you, and I'll see you later. But congrats. I'm proud of you both.
Thank you very much, Liv. Megs, Michael, congratulations on making to the final 2 of Big Brother Hometown Season 20. That is no easy feat at all. This was a long, long journey, but you have about another hour and a half of it. And the jury is ready to grill you. Games have been won and lost on finale night, and I anticipate a good matchup here, and I anticipate the jury to bring really great questions and have really great discussion. Yes, Michael.
Megs, I love you. 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 Megs, yes, go. Oh my gosh. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Love you too.
Here's how this will work. Everything kind of runs on about a 10-minute increment. In that opening statements will be 10 minutes. Each juror will have 10 minutes to discuss, ask you questions. I don't like to enforce that very much. So if I feel like we're being rambling past the point of actually being productive, then I will step in. But otherwise, this is your night to defend your game, which I will give you as much opportunity as you can, as you need to do that. Megs, as the final HOH, you will make the decision on if you'd like to give your opening statement first now or first later. So whatever you do now, you do the opposite of at the end for a closing statement. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start. I'm not going to take too much time with this because I really want to answer the questions of the jury.
Great.
I didn't prepare too much because I wasn't expecting to be here. But I am extremely, extremely thrilled to be able to tell my story tonight. I feel like I was out in the open a whole lot. So you've probably heard, you probably already have an idea of what my entire game looks like, but what I really want to express is that trust is what drives these games. And it's not about who you trust, it's who trusts you. I'm sure you've all heard that. But I took a different approach this game and really use that to showcase everything I've learned in my entire org career. So about the round where we merged back together, you all know that we made an alliance of 5. And those 5 were the people I trusted least in the game in that point in time. And that was Megan, Michael, Liv, and Trey. I felt like I had some level of trust with everyone else in the game. And that live night was the time I decided to just take a huge leap, make a rogue decision to stick with the people I trusted the least, because I knew if I could gain their trust, then there was nothing stopping me. That I had an entire view of the whole game where I could predict what every round was going to be and get ahead of it. And cinching Michael as my number 1 has been one of my best decisions in this entire game, because he has saved my ass more than once. And we just built this partnership that just brought us all the way through the end. I'm extremely proud of how I was able to navigate some really sticky HOHs from the beginning. I never expected to have that much power in the game. Even advantages that I didn't have worked in my favor. So I'm just looking forward to answering your questions and probably clarifying some things and whatever. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again and talk to you. I hand the floor over to Adam Sandler.
I don't think I'll take too long either. So I came into this season with, I don't know exactly how many days it was. 8 days of org experience. 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't remember. Just it's a huge blackout. That's not alcohol induced. But 8 days of org experience. And I feel like I've played like the epitome of a social strategic player, of being a social strategic player in a social strategic game. Because I'm not a comp beast by any stretch. Although I did squeeze out 2 of those bad boys with the solo cups. Wasn't going to win. I'm no mathematician. I've told CLC that quite a few times this season. And I'm not the best at this trivia stuff. This is a learning experience. But I did get out 2 comps. And I believe I did it for the most part, because there's no way you can go through an entire game without doing some things. I don't want to use the word snake, but I feel like I did it with the most part without straight line of people or stabbing people in the back. I knew that I would live and die by that if I made it. I did that very recklessly, kind of in the early stages of 16. But I feel like I did a good job of it, a better job of it, to be here. I was extremely upfront and honest for the most part with everybody. I've worked with and protected my closest allies every time I was given the chance. I think that from the early stages of the game, I had early alliances with me, Christian Rizzo. There was one with me, Rizzo Lamont. There was even one me, Liv Caro. Very early in the game, those people went out, and not for the same reason as Meg said, but like early on in the game, there was a moment where I knew that I had to pivot in the game because some of the people that I was closest to went out. Some of the people that I trusted the most went out. And that's whenever we formed Dancing Queens. And we formed Dancing Queens coming out of the halfway point of the house. And we did it, quite honestly, together. And we did it to protect each other. And we took out the people that we thought were going to take us out. And we did it the right way. And we trusted each other and we watched each other's back. I was nommed 6 times. I used the key for one of them. I don't know how the hell I got out of it, but I was nommed 6 times. Without some of my closest allies. One of them, I volunteered to go in for my alliance to, in part, to protect the people within the alliance from in fear that we were going to just crumble within. Things that I really do value. I felt like we still needed each other at that point. These are things that I'm willing to do that I felt like some people maybe aren't. No, I'm not saying names here, but just who the hell knew? Who? I regretted it instantly. Seconds after saying I'll do it, I was like, I was in the pride chat. I messed up. This is a huge mistake. What have I done? But Megs had my back. My people had my back. I did not have to regret it. And there's moments where even the ones that I'm not the most proud of, but I looked out for, like Meg said, me and Megs we were number ones. And I don't have any regrets about anything any way that I've played this game or anything I've done, not just because I'm here, but because I do feel like, I can speak to all of my decisions, which I know we'll get to. And I'm just really grateful to just be sitting here, either this way, next to you. And that's all I got. that's all I got. I'm going to go on you.
All right. We're going to bring in the first juror of BBH 20. She's the artist formerly known as Ricky DeBad.
Hey, y'all. Can you hear me okay? Cool. It's nice to see you guys. I have my dog's pen in the back, so we're just going to ignore that. But congratulations. I am really excited to see how this night plays out, and I'm just going to get into it. So I'm going to start with Michael. So just so you are aware and you know how to proceed maybe tonight, a lot of the jury has questions about your agency and what you've done in the game that you can capitalize on besides your social game. So I want to give you a moment to explain a time where you had agency and can take ownership for a way a round went or an outcome happened that was your doing.
So, I can give one or two of them. All right, one of them is most recent. When it was down to the 4 of us, me, Megs, Liv, and Trey, and it was a pretty big moment because I've really grown close to Trey, and it's not a move that I personally felt great about, but I truly believed that if I was the sole vote, and Liv won the POV, she could have taken me down, and she asked me if I took her down, if I stayed up there, that I was voting Trey out, and I told her yes, and I knew that deep down, as much as it would kill me, to hurt Trey, just in general, because I love the guy, and I do consider him one of my best friends in this game because we lasted so long together. That she kept me there. I basically, you can call it a lie. I don't know how to word it. Gosh, I don't even know what agency meant when you asked me this question. But I'm an agent, I guess that makes me an agent, like Ethan from Mission Impossible. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm going diverted. So I had to make the move of staying in there, telling her that I'm still gonna, things are going according to plan, knowing that, and deep down I knew that if I kept Trey, I felt like Liv would have taken Trey or Trey would have taken Liv. I felt like they were closer. Now that part you don't exactly know, but I felt like Trey and Liv were way closer than maybe they were perceived to be. So I told them that I was going to do what I was going to do, but I knew deep down that I was keeping Megs in that spot. So I guess I hope that answered your question. Shit!
It does. Thank you. No, I think just let the nerves roll off. I think take ownership of your game and keep talking with confidence, and you will do great. So
Stunning, by the way.
me? Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Okay, go.
This whole thing. Okay, Megs. Hi. So I have a question, and it is kind of like twofold. The first is I would like to have you explain your trust rankings and how they evolved in the game from pre-jury into the jury. And the twofold of that is you mentioned the Dancing Queen Alliance were the people that you trusted the least when you formed it. So selfishly, what made you choose them over me, who you had said that I was your number one ally?
Yeah. I feel like I addressed that in my opening statement. It was a rogue decision. So throughout the entire first half of the game, my trust rankings were constantly flipping, flopping. You were always at the top. Sarah was always near the top. At your vote, you and Sarah were still at the top of my trust rankings. But it was that decision to fly off the handle to gain trust with the people I trusted the least, to change my game, not play the same game I've always played, to make a decision to see if I could cinch power by building trust with the people who I felt like did not trust me. And that was at the cost of my closest allies back to back, being you and Sarah.
Cool. Thank you, guys. I have a question off the cuff, but what was both of your favorite parts of playing? I'll go Megs first and then Michael.
Oh, my favorite part was stretching my game to the fullest. I have never played a game like this before, and I'm just so proud of everything I've been able to pull out of it and trying not to lie. I think I only lied to Rizzo fully. And just being able to, especially all my HOHs, having to renom in all but one of them and still working with the people that I nominated. My first nominations were Liv and Michael, and I was at the end with them. And just rebuilding back trust when it was, what can break trust more than nomming someone? So I was just really proud at how I was able to build back trust in that way throughout the game.
Mine would be getting the experience that I felt like, no, let me twist that. It's kind of, I was going to say that. Mine is actually feeling like I belong because I went out so early in 16 that it was hard for me to find it in me to keep up with 17, 18, 19. I would always start, couldn't finish. I was always jealous of like the meetup photos or the, I don't know, just the relationships that everybody that I had to watch everybody have in 16 and still coming into 20, knowing like that the three people from my season, they went far together. Getting this experience where I do feel like I'm friends with almost everybody on this cast is that's what I missed out on in 16. That's what I got. Like I'm going to take this with me forever now. Like I'm going to be in every VL from here on out. Like I just, I don't have to win to feel that way, but like actually feeling like I belong. And I'm not just like gone too soon, or I'm not just miscongeniality because I did win that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't like, and I felt it like a round or two ago. Like it's not just being here next to Megs. It's the relationships and it's the friendship. And it's like the things that I've shared with people that people aren't total strangers, but I've shared big pieces of my life. My kids know how to play BBH. You know what I'm saying? This is badass. I'm here and I feel like I deserve it actually. And I didn't feel that before. And it's been the most incredible part.
Oh, thank you both. I think you guys should be incredibly proud of the game you played. It's been a long journey to get here. I've had my fair share of ups and downs in the jury with feeling bitter and then feeling, that person deserves my vote and blah, blah, blah. But I truly came into tonight with no clue who I was going to vote. So keep doing exactly what you're doing. I love you both. Thank you so much, Elise. And yeah, I'm so proud of you both, and I can't wait to talk after. But congratulations, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Erica. I didn't say this at the top to the jurors, and Erica did this because she knows. Jurors, when you ask your questions, make sure to just like pick who you'd like to answer if it's addressed to both, so we don't have to play the who's going to answer first dance. But otherwise, it's time for the second juror, all the way back from BBH season 1. It's Sarah Williamson.
Hey, y'all. Oh, I am just truly, truly delighted to see both of you here. I really am. I would love to have been there myself, but at least I'm here. And I'm very proud of and excited for that. Oh, hold on. I think I need to mute something. So I truly don't have a lot of questions. It's been really, being an early juror was interesting, and then seeing the others come in and kind of talk about some things was really interesting too. So I don't have a lot of questions for both of you, but one question I do want to ask is, what do you feel a mistake that you made this season is, and how did you move through that and past that to better your game? Megs, if you want to go first, just because you're not on mute.
Sure. I don't feel like I made too many huge mistakes. There are a couple regrets in terms of relationships that I've had. One being you, and not being able to fully explain like why I was voting you out the time that I did, trying to keep that alliance hidden. I really wanted to make that perception of me versus Liv last as long as possible, and keep any of these just like rumored rivalries keep going, so that I could keep forming trust bond with those 4 other players that I thought would help me get through the end of the game. So not being able to tell you, but then I thought that I slipped up telling you like there's a plan and we're going to help it, because I was like, that was too early. She can tell other people like I just screwed myself. So I was worried about that, which drove me to my next sort of regret, was with Louise's exit. I didn't get to call them. I felt awkward, and we had just trying to build back our relationship, and it was true. And I got a voice memo from her saying that, are you fake? And that was really hurtful to me. But I also felt like with Louise, I couldn't tell her my game because I was afraid, with just the sort of evilness of it all that Louise was talking about, how much that could mess up my game. So like how I felt like I had a tiny trip up with you trying to save our relationship, I didn't want to make that again with Louise, but then it wasn't fair to not have that closure. So those are 2 little regrets that I have.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Megs.
I'm similar to Megs in the sense of me and you started working together right before you went out. So it was a huge regret of mine, although it was directly tied to like, I think you were working with Preston. I don't even know that shit now, but like I was fearful of Preston because it felt like I nommed him. He's gonna nom me. So then it made me scared to work with you. And I just know like we were on the cusp of it, and it could have been because you were a comp beast and you're amazing. And your house looks just as magnificent as it did before. The wood behind you looks great.
Thanks.
The other thing that I think I did misplay was, there's a couple things I feel like I should have played my key differently. I say differently. I shouldn't have said anything until I just used it. And then B, like I really, and I can say it now, the only person I told about the key was Rizzo. He went out right after I told him. I didn't know what to do with it. And when I did use it at the time, early game, like one of the only people I trusted at the time was Liv. And when I used it, she went up. So there was an immediate regret for me that I felt like if I would have told somebody who I did trust, I could have, like she could have went out right there. And I don't know what the hell would have happened there, so that I felt responsible for her being on a block. I think she went up on a block. No, did Rizzo go up on a block?
Both.
Rizzo went up. Well, you see, I'm not good at this shit. So Rizzo went up because I played the key, but Liv was on the block, and I feel like I could have played it better, and there could have been a different outcome. That maybe because she's a vet and because she's experienced, she could have like gotten us out of it. Maybe that was just for her gain. I don't know, but it would have maybe been a different outcome. So I feel like I could have played it better. But I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't have too many regrets.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure. That's good that you don't have a long list of mistakes or regrets. So thank you both. I'm very excited to talk to you both again. Good luck with the rest of the night.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Next up is Louise, Pure Evil.
Pure Evil. Hello. Congratulations. I have two separate questions, kind of statements. We'll see when we arrive there. Megs, I'm gonna start with you. You did touch on this briefly, yes. It felt like we were a little bit like passing ships in the night. I feel like every time we started to build something, you put me up again. No shade. It's usually what happened, and I understood that. And my question to you is, a lot of the times you would tell me, like, you're one of my favorite people in the game, and I felt that about you. I felt like our personal calls were very, very good. Did you ever at any point have me in your plans, or did it at some point, was it just kind of easy for me to be the person you put up?
No, it was never easy for me to put you up, especially after we had repaired after the first time that I put you up. I really had you at the top of my trust list, but my trust list literally means nothing in this game. It was constantly flipping through. I felt like I was doing gymnastics this entire game to figure out what I needed to do to make myself safe. I played an extremely selfish game. I didn't play this game for anybody but me. And so even though there had that alliance built up, I was constantly thinking, what is best for me, not what is best for this group, what is best for Michael. Those never passed my mind. I was like, this person's best for me. I need to keep them safe at this point. This person, I need their vote the next round. I was just thinking ahead and ahead. And you were just caught in the crossfire, because that is not a lie at all. I'm sorry, everybody else. Louise is my favorite house guest. And it was just selfishly, you leaving at that point in time was best for my game.
All right, thank you. Completely understand that. Michael. Oh damn. Okay. So you said in your opening statement that you didn't feel like you backstabbed anyone, but the hole in my back tells a different story. I thought that me and you were it, and we would have these personal conversations. At the end of these conversations, you would say, see, now this is why I can never vote you out. This is why you're my girl. Nobody else is having conversations like this with me. This is why we got to make it to the end. And you were like that with me every single time. Every time. And you were constantly at the top of my trust rankings. And me feeling like an idiot now, in retrospect, I had a family emergency. I couldn't even campaign most of the time when I was on the block when I left. I called you with some of the precious time that I had to wish you luck and to give you the go-ahead to vote me out, because I felt like you were the one person who wouldn't. To find out, egg on my face, you were happy to do so the whole time. So my question to you is, you say you didn't backstab anyone. Am I just not anyone to you? Like, what is your perspective on that?
No, I mean, I was never happy to vote you out. I think that we got to a point in the game where at that point, when you were there, we had formed our alliance. At that point in the game, I felt like I did trust you. You were on the top of my trust rankings. And I mean, not just rankings. I trusted you immensely through the entire first part of the game. More than, like, even though I would have this like fresh working thing going on with Louise, I desperately wanted the 16 chat that never came to about. I trusted you all the way. The part that like was a red flag for me was whenever, I mean, and I was in House B, so like maybe I don't know the full story, but that you voted out Caro. And then when I was counting votes, whenever I was on the block, from what I heard from people, was that you voted to evict me. And at that point in the game, when you were up there and all of the votes were being told to me, and it was one of the moments in the game. And maybe this isn't the strongest like jury thing to say, but I knew that I was with and I felt safe in my alliance. And that if I wouldn't have, I mean, you gave me the go ahead. I mean, maybe that was the
But
wrong
you couldn't have told me beforehand that you were going to do it the whole time. Like, so I understand you saying that you trusted me, but the moment you didn't even really talk to me after the split house. That's how I knew I fell all the way down with you, to the point where you created an alliance called Kara's Revenge, knowing I was the vote to vote her out. I don't see how that couldn't be any more against me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's what hurts,
I
because
didn't name the group, but I mean, like, but yeah,
you were a part of it. And like the
was,
thing is that after all of that, we would still continue to have these talks, and you would still reaffirm, I got you, I got you, I got you. I love you. You're my number one. I appreciate you so much. At that point, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to have these personal talks with me, or you could have had the talks with me. You didn't have to say, because of that, there is no way I could vote you out. Because I'm a big girl, I can take the game, but that hurt me. Like that did. And I wanted to say that, because you saying that you didn't backstab anyone, it didn't feel like that to me. I felt very burned.
I'm sorry, I didn't have it in me to go through all of that with you minutes before, because you had the stuff going on, and we got on very close to the eviction time. And when you told me that I was okay to not do that, I didn't feel like in my heart it was the necessary time for me to pour all of that on you with the stuff.
But did you know that you were voting me out from the veto? Did you know you were voting me out from that point?
I don't really remember. I was probably leaning towards it. Yeah.
You could have shot me a message. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to leave it on a sour note, because it's not who I am, and I try not to be that person.
I was still very much hung up on. I mean, did you vote to evict me?
I did. Yeah, I knew that you weren't going, and I felt bad for Erica, who was crying and sad. And I've never hid that. I never hid the emotional part of me, and I never would. I would never vote with you to go, but yes, I voted to keep Erica. Like I said, I don't want this to end on a sour note. I still love you and appreciate you as a person. I just wanted to say, through the game, that's what hurt me.
I understand. Go ahead.
And you still have every opportunity to earn a vote from me. And I wish you luck with the rest of your questioning. I just wanted to address that part from your opening statement, because I know I'm not the only juror who feels like they were burned by you. And so moving forward, it gives you the opportunity to at least think ahead of what people might ask you. You both have the opportunity to earn my vote. I wish you the best of luck. You both look fantastic. It's really, really hard to get to final two, and it's something that shouldn't be, scoffed at. You both worked really, really hard in different ways. And I think that you should both be immensely proud of the games that you have played. Just own the games that you've played. And may the best man and or woman win.
Thanks, Louise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. All right. Next up is Nikki.
Hi to both of you. Okay, so my first question is, do you think there was any move you guys made in the game that benefited you more than it did almost anybody else in the game at that point? Michael, you can go first, but I have the same question.
I would go to the most recent round and me finding a way to keep me into the one soul vote. There may be better examples of this in earlier game when there's more people on the board and it benefits you more. But I truly believe that if I would have, if Trey would have been, if I would have voted Megs out, that Liv or Trey would have taken each other, and I would have been dead in the water then. I knew that the only shot that I had was if Megs and Liv went, in hopes that they did not want to go to a final together, because they're two very strong competitors, top to bottom, like comps, social, all of it, top to bottom. Whereas, I'm not really built like that, right? So I just knew that my only path to final two was that. So that's my example.
Are you done? Sorry. Okay, good. Mine has to be when I took over Train of Thought from Jabbar. That round, Erica and Sarah were my number ones. And I was getting so much pressure from a lot of people to put Sarah and or Erica up. And that did not benefit me. So just being in that group where we could work together and all tie at the top mark, and knowing what Jabbar was guessing and upvoting him was a very scary decision, and I denied it in the game. And having power twice that early before merge was terrifying. But I thought if I could have 2 more numbers behind me that I could just squeak by and continue on, I think that move benefited me a whole lot.
Okay, I have one more question. Do you think anybody in the game, like out of the other 16 people, played a similar game to you? And if so, who and for what reasons? I will go Michael first again.
Similar game than me. I mean, probably Trey. Although late in the game, Trey was like, I don't know how many POVs he won. Didn't he win a few POVs? I could be way off on this shit. I'm not good at this at all. So, but Trey was very good socially. Not that he's bad. I mean, I consider myself trash at comps. And I don't consider Trey trash at comps. Let me just clarify that right off the bat. Trey was very good socially in the game. I feel like Rizzo went out really early, but I feel like maybe Rizzo is like I think at some point when we had the group call, like everybody's like, well, who is Rizzo's number one? And everybody put their name hand up. So maybe it's Rizzo. One-on-one relationship wise, he was incredible at, I feel like better than I thought he was until I started hearing about it after. So maybe maybe Rizzo too. But maybe that, I guess, period. I guess I'm done. Thank you. Shit.
I think the most obvious one is comparing myself with Liv's game, but I think it's just purely on surface, how we were both targets from the beginning, how we both try to avoid the block, how we both won comps and got ourselves off the block. But I don't think I've played the same game as anybody else in this series, just by how I was looking at the game. Like I said before, building trust with the people I didn't trust and going to the end with them.
That was it for me. Good luck tonight. You guys are both doing amazing, and you both deserve to be here so much. And can't wait to vote for the winner in a little bit. And good luck.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you so much, Nikki. Next up, it's Lamont.
Oh, hello. Congratulations to you both for getting to the end of the game. So proud of you both. Last time I played, my motto was the writing's on the wall. This season was a little bit different, and it was pick me, choose me, love me. So with that being said, I have 2 questions for you both. Michael, you can go first, and then Megs can go second. Who did you choose to play with coming into this game? Why did you pick them? And then another question is, who did you love playing with?
Okay, so I think when I came in, immediately my go-to was Caro. / Luis, like Caro and Luis. I came in extremely frightened and intimidated by Liv because Liv was the one that got me out in 16, and I saw how well Liv played the game in 16. How she was just 10 steps ahead of everybody. So I kind of like, at first I did attach to my 16 people because they were 2 of my closest allies in 16. And then like the people that I ended up like loving to play with, I would say Megs / Trey. I mean, I can't pick everybody. I've told people probably tired of hearing me saying this, but I loved everybody. But as we got to like the midway point of the game, after my closest probably allies that the ones that I really trusted the most, that I really didn't feel like were working with the people that were going to get me out, that it ended up being like a Megs that I really felt like I could depend on not to ever vote me out. I really felt like that. And I really felt like that about Trey. there were moments in the game where like the people that I really thought I was close to, they did vote to evict me, and it scared me. And I felt very lucky to have found my way from like lost alliances. There was a moment 4 or 5 rounds into the game where like I didn't have any alliances because my people went out. And like I wasn't lying to people when I said I felt good one-on-one with people, but there was a few rounds in this game where I did not have a home. And I was especially when we went to the split house A and house B, where like I didn't have anybody in a small house, and I didn't have any alliances left coming out of it after Christian went. So it got to the point where I'm halfway through and I'm making it way deeper into the game than I thought I would. You included were in that when we came out of the small houses. I know that we were kind of working with different people, but it still made the game fun because the calls were still great. And, you know, there's still a certain level of trust with certain people, even when they are working with other people. Like I never didn't trust you either. It's just, I think you were tied to Nikki, which just never had conversation with Nikki. So I knew she was going to nom me. So it scared me to say too much. It could be a good or bad thing that I didn't say much. But I guess that's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Lamont.
Nice.
All right. That's a tough question because it evolved. Initially on opening day, who I picked were Caro and Erica. They are strong players who are social that help complement my game. I know there's that strategy with both of them, and that's just who I'm immediately drawn to. I was immediately repelled by you, and I was like, I'm not working with Lamont. But I chose to rewrite history. And I chose to not go down that path. I didn't have a choice with Caro. She was voted out unexpectedly. And that, I think that's actually what propelled my game forward, is losing what I thought I wanted to do. But I wasn't here to replay history. That's not why any of us were here. So I chose a different path, and I picked Michael. And Michael is an extremely social player that I am usually terrified of. I'm sure I've had this conversation with the people I wanted to work with early. I was like, I need Trey out. I need Michael out. They're too social. They scare me. If they're around, I go up next to them. I'm gone. So I'm used to like being a shield and being the one that falls with super social players like that. But I picked them and chose them to play with so that I could play a completely different game. What was your love question again?
Who did you love to play with?
Who did I love to play with? I mean, I'm going to do the sappy answer, just like Adam Sandler here. It was so hard to choose who I loved to play with. I loved our daily calls. Even when I was voting people out, I was happy to be on calls with them. So I never had any negativity from anybody in this game. So it was completely all love. So sorry for that cop-out answer, but truly this is my favorite cast I've ever played with.
Awesome. I have one last question. It's only for Michael. You sat in the final 3 with, like you said, Megs and Liv, who were 2 strong competitors. At any point in that final 5 alliance that you decided to work with, what was your plan at final 5? Like, who was your ideal final 2? If you had to choose anyone in that 5, who was it?
Truthfully, it was it was probably it was Megs, and I would say Liv / Trey. And I say Liv / Trey because Megs is the only person, or was the first person, that came to me and asked me for a final 2. We're talking well after halfway point of this game. I never had like a true. Now we have talks with people where we're telling them like, I would love to go to the end with you. I can see us at the end with you. And all of those talks 100% genuine. Like I've had heavy talks with Trey about that, but it wasn't ever like a formal final 2 thing. Nobody ever asked me for that. Not saying I felt alone in this game or anything like that, because I didn't. I had people to rely on. But it was definitely Megs for that reason. and I say Liv/Trey because Liv was the closest thing to like a final two talk that I've had with somebody, like where it's like, I got you. We're doing so well together. I'm so honored and privileged to be this deep with you in the game when you were 100% the person that took me out. And I was terrified of you in the beginning. And I say /Trey because like for me and Trey's first call, like I think me and Trey's first call was like an hour and a half. And I just really connect with him as a person. So even though it was good for my game and that's the way that I saw that I wanted it to go, it hurt in that sense. To vote him out there, I just saw it as my only opportunity to get to the final two, and I had to do it.
Awesome. Good luck to the both of you.
You dude.
Thank you so much, Lamont. Next up, in heels as always, it's
Hey. First and foremost, congrats to you both. You both did really amazing. Megs, I'm going to start with you. And I'm so glad that you brought up the train of thought because I suspected that you purposely did that. And I thought that that was a really great move for you, which is why I wanted to target you. But ironically enough, you only went on the block twice and you were only a final nominee once. And the only person who could have evicted you was Michael. So can you kind of talk to me and the rest of the jury on how you were able to, at the jury phase of the game, once Erica and Sarah were gone, how you were able to like withhold your position within Dancing Queens, along with still having good bonds with those of us who were not in that alliance?
Magic. It was extremely difficult, but like I said before, it was that trust. I knew that I wasn't the top of the vote out list for anybody outside of that alliance. So I also felt like I was lower. I had safety with Liv there. I did. She was definitely my shield, and I felt like I didn't need any other shields. Also, just that the power that Liv had. She said she was going to save me before live night. So having a shield with a strong player and a freaking advantage in my back that I truly believed would have been played on me at that point in time, that's just so powerful. So I have really been working on my social game. I know I don't have the longest calls with people. I'm a millennial. I can't apologize for that. But I do think I am time efficient. You know, I don't say a whole lot. I give a lot of feedback. That's my whole job, is listening. I know I could communicate a little more information, but I feel like I had a different experience with each person I called. I took little pieces of your personality and your day, and so that we could build a bond and have a real bond, even if I only called you for 15, 20 minutes. So I don't know. I also feel like I couldn't have done too much in this game because I came in with a reputation and I came in with a target. I don't love coming in day one, people saying, oh, I heard about you. I heard how good and social and not social, how good and strategic you are. And you're so great at comps. I'm like, fuck. So I didn't really try to lay on too long of calls because I have to manage my threat level. So, you know, I know this about myself, and I'm just extremely self-aware and use that.
Thank you. So I'm going to move on to Michael. Because Michael, I think that your position in this game was very dangerous. Like Meg said, if you were going up against Michael, you were going home. And it happened quite a few times. And I think that like a lot of times you were allowed to be the executioner in certain situations because of people and like the trust or the faith that they had in you. But I want to know from you, who do you think in this game was your biggest adversary, and what did you specifically do to send that person home?
So, man, I don't have a spreadsheet or anything. You know, early in the game, I had to nominate Preston, so I knew he would come back and nominate me. I didn't have a hand in Preston's way. If I had an adversary, I would think it was Nikki. And which is weird because like we only got on call a few times, but I know that because we didn't have a relationship, I would be nommed every single time. I can't remember if it was even my HOH that I nommed her. I think it was. But I believe it. Oh gosh, but I knew, and even when people would come to me and ask me like for my opinions on like what I wanted in the like if like, and you know that's their votes and they're gonna do it what they wanted. But that's like one of the times that I was vocal, and I'm like, if I've got a choice here, it's Nikki. Were you on a block with her that round? Somebody was.
I was not.
You were not. God, see, look up. Well, there you have it. So,
you were the HOH, silly.
Okay, there you go. So, I did make it known that if they cared what I thought and they wanted to vote my way, that's the direction that I wanted to go, because I know that every round, and she is good at comps, she would have put me up every time. And if I could get her out, I felt like I had better relationships with you, with Lamont, that I could A, move forward and work together. B, I wouldn't be y'all's target. Which I very much did. Like, you voted to save me, and I promised you that I wouldn't put you up on the next round. I didn't get HOH the next round, but I voted for you to stay. And then the round after that, when I got it, I held up my end of my word, and I didn't put you up, and I wasn't gonna. So if there was an adversary, it'd be Nikki, and I did make it known that out of the two, that I wanted her gone if she couldn't win the POV. So.
Okay. So I have a quick follow-up then, since you said that you would not have put me up. If the veto was used on Nikki or Lamont at the final 8, the only options for renomination were myself and the Dancing Queens. Who would you putting up? Who would you going to put up?
I would have had to put you up.
Okay.
At that moment. I would have had to put you up, and then I would have probably at that moment voiced it the same way I did with Nikki, but I would have held up my end without telling anybody that I had a deal with. You can't, like, I can't overextend, right? And be like, I had a deal. I was very prepared to where if I had to put you up, that you wouldn't have been that you're not the target for me. And there were some people that I told that like there was a deal, people that I could trust. But it wasn't like I didn't put that in the group. You know what I mean? I would have been very adamant. I think you would have came out on that. So whatever that's worth.
Yeah, well, I mean, I very much appreciate you, both of your answers. Good luck to you both, and may the best person win.
Thank you so much, Jabbar. All right, next up, her first experience on the jury, and now she gets to do the jury thing and question the final 2. It's Megan.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm gonna be really honest. I have been pretty emotional listening to both of you tell your stories. And partially that's because I trusted both of you immensely. And what I feel like I'm hearing in this is that I didn't have either of your trust, or at least Megs potentially at some point lost your trust. And honestly, Michael, I don't know at all where our relationship actually ever stood. It sounds like you had a lot of really close relationships, maybe a lot of number ones, maybe a lot of number twos. So I don't know. And I feel very backstabbed by you. And I do feel very hurt by you in this. I think that I can put that aside, and I still don't know exactly who I'm voting for. I think I have a decent idea, but I can put the feelings aside to vote for the game here. But I will admit, I'm a little emotional about it. So I think leaning into that, the question I kind of already had for you, Megs, which just you describing the story, your story of the game, makes me think this is a good question. But when did the trust between us go? Was it ever there for you? Did that go obviously when Dancing Queens was created? Like when did that slip? So I needed you from final 11 to final 6. I know that you're an extremely intelligent person, and going into a group of 5 where there are 2 figureheads, an extremely intelligent person, and 2 social players, what's going to happen there is you're going to drag these 2 over and vote us out. And the time to do it is at 6 when you have another number to pull in. Yeah. It made sense. And Liv and I had a really close relationship, and you were talking about backdooring me at that point in time. It made sense. That was not surprising to me.
Yeah.
I already knew that was going to happen.
Right.
So that was my whole purpose. This game, it was try to predict what would happen and when, and how to get ahead of it, build this relationship over this one, so that when this happens, I can rely on Michael to help me. Michael's not going to get pulled over, or Trey's going to trust me a little bit more because he doesn't want Liv to go in this moment. So I loved working with you. It came to a point in time where this is obviously going to happen. And so that's not, it's not so much I didn't trust you as a human, as a person, as an ally. It was a game move, and you're playing with crazy game heads. And that was the move, and you did it at the right time. I was just prepared for it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And thanks for being honest. Michael, I think for you, I would like you to own your game. And I would like you to own that you lied. I'd like you to admit that you lied. I'd like you to admit that that was part of your game. And like, that's fine. Like, I honestly, like, you even cutting Trey and I at that point was like, I want to give you a lot of credit for that, in a sense that, yeah, you were probably going to be taken to the end by Megs or Liv. But I want you to own it. And I want you to own that you lied to me about evicting me.
So, I mean, yes, I did. It was not, I mean, I can say that I'm sorry, but I don't know if that matters. But
It does. It's more of like the move.
I mean, I do own it, because at the time I felt like Liv was at least going to take me to the end. Like, maybe not final two, but like when we got down to 5, I knew that at that point I had a final 2 with Megs, and I really trusted that final 2, because nobody had given me like the formal, like we talked, and I trusted the 4 of you more than I've trusted anybody in this game. I had the final 2 with Megs. It was like a loose final 2 with Liv from the beginning of the game. And then it was just an extremely close, like, friendship with Trey.
Yeah.
And it just left you. And it's not that I didn't trust you. It's not that, because we came a long way from where we started when I nommed you to when we got into House B, and from when we were just dominating the house as dancing queens. Like, we got to call it for what it is. Like, that part is not just me. That's the 5 of us. I don't have that many HOHs to say that I did all those moves. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I did all this, but like, there are parts.
What would you say was your move? What would you say would have been your move in the dancing queens then? Because I think we all had to figure out, we knew that we were going to 5, right? And we knew that at that point, we all had to figure out how we were going to get ourselves to this point, right? I think Megs did it extremely well. Megs had this thing freaking mapped out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right?
Yes,
so like, what was yours then?
I mean, I feel like the 2 moves that I made, I mean, I say 4 dancing queens, I volunteered to go on the block. I jumped on.
You feel like that was a move that was going to help you get here, though?
Yes. I don't think people were jumping on it. I think that it showed that I had full faith in you guys. That in my hopes would give enough trust to whoever that I'm with, if I make it to the following round, that they like, I mean, I did this. I essentially kept, I feel like if I wouldn't have gotten on the block, Megs might have went up and she might have been gone. I feel like me voting out Trey.
That was a potential plan. So
well, there you go. So like Megs would have went out there, and Megs is the only true hard final 2 that I have at that point, whether I'm right or wrong. And she stabs me in the back. That's all I have to go off of. So I'm volunteering to go on the block because nobody else, I didn't want to do it. I regretted it instantly. And then voting Trey out. If I don't vote Trey out, I don't think I'm here right now. That hurt. And it hurt me to hurt you. And it hurt me to find out how much I might have hurt Louise. To really feel like I didn't backstab anybody. And if y'all feel like I did it in some way, I am tremendously sorry for that. That kills me. I don't have, those are my game moves, and it sucks.
You're good. Yeah. Okay. I love you both as a person, Michael. So know that. So the game stuff is hard, and the game stuff we have to process, but I love you both as human beings. You killed it. You're here. Like, that's huge. So Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Megan. Next up, we have Trey.
It's me. Wow. Sorry, I've been like playing the drinking game, and so like I'm already done with my first cup. But let's all just take a moment here and let's breathe. You guys made it. You killed it. And we see Michael's kid, so we got to take another sip. But let's play another game. You know, I love sea salt and paper. So my first question is for Megs, which is the best card on sea salt and paper?
I'm sorry. Is this going to be wrong? But I always have to go with Mermaid if she pops up. You got it. You can't skip her.
Negative points so far, Megs, but no worries. You can still win this game in my vote. And so my next question is for Michael. You said you were social and strategic, so I want to take us back to Final Five. I know we've already talked a lot about it, but I want to know, what did you think the jury's perception of winnability was at Final Five?
Like with me?
With everybody left in the game at 5. Just rank them.
At 5, I think when we were at 5, that's a good question. By the way, it's Penguin. It's the Penguin card.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Yeah. All right. So it's, I mean, oh, wow. Okay. I don't think I would be at the top of that list. I think it would probably have been Liv, Megs. Liv, Megs. You, me, Megan. If I go 1 to 5, maybe Liv, Megs, me, you, Megan. Maybe. I don't know how to rank it past Megs and Liv, because their games are great top to bottom if you put it on the back of a baseball card, right? I just don't feel like, maybe I just lack confidence. I don't think that I'm at the top of that.
Yeah, and so, you know, my name in other communities is Mirman. I think I play a really good social strategic game. I told you, Megs, you know, in my final pitch, Megs had a really good chance of winning. Liv had a really good chance of winning. I asked you if you wanted to play to win or if you wanted to play for second. So I do want you to know that I went in as soon as I got voted out. There's no bitterness, nothing like that. I understand the game move to make it to this point, and also understanding your guys' final 2. But I don't know if I could call you necessarily a social strategic player based on those decisions from 5 to 4. There was another question that wanted to be asked by the jury, so I'll ask it for them. You're welcome, Lamont. But why do you think you deserve to win over Megs?
So that's a good question. I feel like, aside from a few moves that people do view as being backstabbing, that I have tried to be as upfront as possible through a game like this, which is almost impossible to go through without like burning people in some way, shape, or form. I tried, even when I couldn't, to be as clear and as honest as I could. Clearly, mistakes can be made. I feel like I would go back to me being, if I had to say it, me being the reason Megs is here. If I don't volunteer to go up, or if the move that I made at Final Four, if I vote her out, she's not here. I don't know if that is as big of a move to the jury as I feel like it is for me. I don't feel like I'm here if I don't do that. Maybe that's not good enough to go on some people's resumes, but it's something that I just view as it's life or death for me at that point.
So just to understand your answer, your biggest move was securing your spot in final 2?
Yes.
Okay. And then, Megs, you're not out of this game. You can still win some points here. What is your name?
Megs.
Okay. You got some points there. And then, Michael, this is a double or nothing. You could possibly beat Megs here, but who do you think had the nickname of 14 this season?
I don't even know how to answer that. Mirror Man Trey. I don't know.
Oh, close. Well, well, I wish you guys a lot of light, love, and positivity tonight. I think the jury has done a good job this whole game, and everybody in this cast has done a good job of keeping it just game related. We all played killer games, and you two are the ones standing here. So kudos to both of you. I'm so proud of everything you guys have said tonight and what you've accomplished in this game. Whether or not the vote reflects that is one story, but you both played a killer game. You made it to the end, and that's been impressive to be a part of that experience and tonight to watch. So best of luck to you both, and you both look fabulous tonight. Keep on killing it.
Thank you so much, Trey. And then last, but certainly not least, it's Liv.
Hey to both of you. A few alcoholic drinks deep at this point, but I want to give my first question to Michael, which is, why do you think it was best for you to go to Final Three with both me and Megs, and even tracking back to the Final Five decision of evicting Megan and then also Trey? From my perspective, the best thing for a person to do, right, is to give themselves the best opportunity at winning at the final two, not just being taken to the final two. So, can you describe for me how your decision at final five and final four was best for you winning the game and not just being taken to the final two? Because I can promise you, Michael, as much as you've said this game, I was intending to take you to final two. You've said that you were afraid that me and Trey would take each other. I think the perception, at least what I was going to do, I was going to take you because I thought that you were the easiest person to beat at final two. So why do you think that's not the case? And why do you think your decisions at final five and final four, and please own them, are the correct decisions so that you can win in the final two?
So, I mean, it goes back to like, all right, so when we were in the final five, I mean, although we did a great job of Dancing Queens, we knew that there would come a time. I mean, when we all had probably trust rankings once we got to five. At the time, based off of the other, like the four people, I felt like I could trust Megan the least out of the four of y'all. I just did. Like, I really trusted you at that point. I really trusted Megs at that point, and I really trusted Trey at that point. And out of those, I felt like I had more sense of security with the four of y'all than I did with her. And then I don't have a whole lot to go off of when it was just a feeling. And maybe I was wrong with that feeling. But that you and Trey were closer than I thought. Then y'all, maybe I'm wrong, but I just thought that y'all were closer than y'all were. I mean, I do understand you saying it now that like you thought I would have been easier to beat, and I respect that. I do. But maybe this is from an experience, but I can't campaign for a win if I'm not in the final two. I get the sense of like people wanting to win, and I want to win as much as anybody else on this entire cast wants to win. But if I'm not in the final two, I can't do that. For me, I just got to be there. That's it. I need a ticket in. When I get there, I'll figure it out. All of this is new to me. I came in this thing with 8 days experience, period. I just got to be in the final two, or I'm sitting up here asking questions to you and Megs, or to you and Trey. And I feel like my best chance to do that was to vote Trey out, even though I cried about that shit when we got off stream. That's no easy decision. Like Trey's a real ass friend. All y'all are. That's a real ass dude. For me, it was bigger to just be here and give me a chance to talk about aspects of my game that make me feel like, yeah, I did this and I did that, blah, blah, blah. I just had to be up here.
Thanks, Michael. And I do love you, appreciate you, everything that we've been in this game. So at Final Five, who do you think you would have had the best chance of beating out of the other Dancing Queens members?
Maybe Trey, because our games are similar. But I don't know. Maybe Trey had a better social strategic game. I mean, he kind of just hit on it that like maybe I'm not as social and strategic as I thought I was. And I don't think that I'm like the end all be all, right? I'm not good at this whole ownership shit, I don't do this in real life. I typically send it to the next person. Maybe Trey, maybe Megan. I was fearful of the both of y'all. Y'all are top to bottom. Like y'all have every facet of your game, in my opinion, is really, really good. But yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And so who do you think had the best jury management out of the Final Five?
Oh shit, I don't know the answer to that question. Probably Megs. I mean, we're up here, I guess. Or maybe you. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Truthfully.
Okay.
I don't have a clue.
Megs, what do you think was the most pivotal conversation that you had from the Final Six on? And what do you think? Yeah, what's the most pivotal conversation you think you had from the Final Six on?
From the Final Six on, at that point, nothing. At that point, everything that I had planned was already in motion. There wasn't a pivotal point right then. There wasn't. I feel like some important conversations were upon Megan leaving, spilling a lot of information about the final three that you, Michael, and Trey had. I wasn't blind to that being a possibility, but that was much lower on my radar. So I really needed to, again, pull in Michael closer, still make you feel good with me. But you and I always had one eye open on each other. All of our conversations, we want to feel good together, but both of you knew that you needed me out to be here, and I knew I needed you out to be here. Like you said, at that stage in the game, Final Six, Final Five, that is end game. What is your winnability? How do you increase your odds to get there? And I think it was an important conversation you and I had after I nominated you and you won yourself off the block, because I still needed to be good with people that I'm in the game with that are certain to have power later on. And you still were going to nominate me, but we don't need to have a negative relationship. And at Final Four, why wouldn't I be nominated? So I don't think there were any pivotal conversations I had from 6 on. But I think setting it up and just getting to the end to where I gave myself the best odds was an entire setup. So I don't have one point to point out to you.
Cool. When would you have preferred, when was your ideal point to have gotten me out of the game?
5 was good because I still needed you. I wanted you out where I nominated you. I did, because then I felt good with Michael. I felt like Trey would probably take Michael. If Megan was still there, it would be a lot iffier. But it was an issue for me that there was this power struggle. But if you were out, I felt like I had a really good chance at winning HOH, but I couldn't do it at that point in time, but winning POV. And I told you that, like, I needed you out so I can win POV. And that's what matters at Final Four, is who has the vote. And so since I didn't have that, I set it up so I had the vote to stay.
Mm-hmm. And who were at the Final Five the votes that you thought were going to evict me? The vote or votes, because it was you could have broken the tie.
All three of them. All three of them. Trey volunteered to go up on the block because he didn't want to vote you out, but he wanted you on the block. And so Michael was going to vote you out. He was going to do whatever I asked him to. And Megan just wanted me or you out. So even if I wouldn't have told you that because I needed you to feel good with Michael going in to the final four. But all of them would have voted you out. All of them would have voted me out.
Thank you. Michael, is that true? Would you have voted me out at the final 5 or no?
Who was the other person? I'm so lost in all this.
If it was, let's say it was me versus Megan, would you have voted out me or Megan?
Honestly, I probably would have voted out Megan.
I have final 5, Michael. This is real. Like when she was nominated against Megan. If it stayed the same.
I'm trying to backtrack. I'm so lost. I'm sorry.
It's you and Trey voting.
Right.
Megs could have broke the tie. It was me versus Megan. Who would you have voted out?
I think at that moment I would have tied the vote and gave it to Megs to do it.
Okay. And if it was me versus Trey with Megan and yourself voting, what would you have done?
I would have voted Trey to evict.
Okay.
Because me and you had just been working like closer at that point. I mean, it's hindsight, but I mean that's my feeling. I'm thinking about it now.
Thank you both for your honest answers. I love and appreciate you both so much. I'm so thankful for the relationships we've had throughout the game. I have so much love and respect for both of you. And I'm excited to cast my vote tonight. And best to both of you. Love you both. Glad we shared finale night together, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Liv. All right, one last thing to do, and that is for you each give your closing statements. Michael will go first, then Megs, and then I'll hop back on and get us transitioned to the end of this. So, Michael, you can go ahead and kick it off.
All right, I'm gonna start it out similar to the way that I did my opening statement. I've navigated myself past round 3 for the first time in an org in my entire life. So there are parts of when I'm trying to explain something and I don't know how to fucking explain it. And there's parts of my games that I do own up to the decisions that I've made in the game and the moves that I've made in the game. Maybe I'm not considered as much of a power figure in these moves. I have tried to handle them with integrity. Clearly there's some misfires if people are hurt. And I can't begin to explain how terrible I feel about burning somebody like Louise, who just at that point in the game took out one of my other big allies, who at that point in the game, I felt like I was burned first, that she voted to evict me. And at that point, at the moment, I couldn't trust Louise. That's not Louise. That's not an easy conversation for me to have with her moving forward when she's working with Nikki, who's coming to get me. I still feel bad about it. I still didn't feel like it was the right moment in time for me to tell her when she was going through the things that she was going through and we had minutes left to vote. But I think I did it in a way where I won enough comps to make my moves that needed to be made. And when all of my allies were gone, I did pivot halfway through the game when we came out of the small houses in an alliance with Megs. Like we made that move, and Megs did it with people that she didn't trust. Me and Megs came out of that. I mean, she nommed me early in the game. We turned and we ran with it. And then as an alliance, we did. We masterfully executed what we did. I just think that I did make the pivot in a game, chose the right side, took my shots when I needed to take them. Do I have as many of them as somebody who wins more HOHs? No. But my relationships with people were good enough to survive the block 6 times, 5 times. One of them I had the key. I stand by the decisions I made because I'm here, and it was just as important for me to get to final 2 as it is for me to win. I get that there's some people that are Like some of you, and then these are the people in the jury. These are people pre-jury that are in the house that they know what they need to do to win like the final. They know that, like, I mean, they're playing for the campaign to win, and I was just playing to get here. But I do feel like my game has been good enough now that I'm here to say that I deserve the win. Like, I did win HOHs. I did trust, protect, fight for the people early, mid, late game to keep them safe. I did. I volunteered to go on the block in an alliance to keep from my alliance at the time, even though we're 6, 7 at that point, whatever it was, to not implode within, to not have Liv take out Megs or make Megs take out Liv. That's not just for my betterment. You know, before we got to, I was not thinking, I mean, we'll figure out what's going to happen at 5. That may, and that's maybe an aspect of my game that I got to get better, planning ahead, rounds ahead. But I think there's something to be said for me just making sure we finish the job. I was very adamant about us finishing the job and us being final 5. Extremely adamant. There are moments in the game when tough decisions, and it's really hard for me to look back and say I would have voted this person out at 5 or this person out at 5, because I don't like saying those names right now. That makes me feel terrible to think that I would have voted somebody out earlier than I did. But that's just who I am, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. So maybe those answers aren't right. I don't know if they are or not, but I did what most people won't do, and I volunteered to go up. I went on the block multiple times, and people voted to save me. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't promise too many people anything crazy. I asked them to save me, and they did, because of our relationships and our friendships. I don't apologize for that at all. And if it's not as social and strategic, whatever, if it is, then great, because, I mean, there's a certain level that I was. You know, I did. I had people's backs. I protected Jabbar when he wasn't even in our alliance for 2 rounds after that. I would have fought to protect him if I had to renom him too. I would not have renommed somebody inside of our alliance at that stage in the game when they're 6. No chance. I tried to be as loyal as I could until I couldn't, and somebody had to be said. There's something to be said for them being nommed in the first place. But I mean, those are decisions that are hard to make that I made, and I'm here, and I don't apologize for that. I apologize for hurting somebody's feelings. I apologize for them if they're feeling backstabbed, because I never wanted to hurt anybody in this game, but I'm here. And I feel like I deserve to be here. And I love y'all. And I'm sorry if I hurt you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Michael. Just to bring it back, I know everybody here loves this game and that we have all played so hard and put so much into it. And this is going to be a great continued chat between all of us. I came in and I feel like I played an incredibly selfish game and accidentally made 17 new best friends. So I'm just incredibly grateful to be here. I feel like a superhero. I feel like I did everything I could this game to get myself here and to build a game that I was actually proud of. When I first started, I had a little bit of a breakdown. I felt like I was floundering and just getting battered by the waves. And I finally thought I found footing. I felt like I was running on quicksand. It was such an incredibly intense game. And I owe that to all of you being amazing gamers. You made me play the hardest game I've ever played in my life. And because of that, I decided to make a choice to play a different game out of my comfort zone, stretch every facet of anything I've ever learned in my org career, to build trust with people you don't normally trust, to fill in the gaps of my game, to not underestimate anybody. When people were focused on group versus group, or just we have our numbers, I was focusing on the individual relationships to pull me through any adverse situation. The 2 times I ended up on the block were the only 2 times I knew I wasn't going home. I don't think I needed to win myself off of the block in Jabbar's HOH. I made it to final 2 with a target on my back the entire game with 0 votes to evict. So you've never voted for me in the game, and I would love to get your vote right now, though. So any vote you wanted to evict me, you can just put it to vote for me now. Love you.
Thank you so much to both of you. Well done tonight. This was not easy. This part of it is not easy because you have 9 people that just want to come for blood, no matter what their journey was in the game. But you both handled it really well, and the jury, thank you for keeping it cute. You really did a good job tonight. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Jurors, please now send a video vote for a winner to your production chat. This is the last time that I'm asking you to send me a video. I promise. But you are voting for a winner. I'm going to send Megs and Michael backstage so they can just take a moment. We're going to take a few minutes. I'll put the countdown on and we will collect some votes. And then when we return, I will crown a winner. To my amazing production team, thank you so much for everything you guys did. We've been thinking about this season for a long time. And I am just absolutely thrilled with it in every capacity. This was a fantastic season from top to bottom, and I'm excited to crown a winner. We have plenty more to say that we'll do in the reunion chat later. I have a little surprise for everyone later there that I'm excited to talk to you guys about in the reunion Zoom call, which we'll get fired up right after this. But let's get to this. Megs and Michael, the final 2 of BBH 20. 9 votes. You need 5 to win. You want to see your names on these cards, and we will crown a winner. Are we ready? All right, let's do it. First vote goes to...
Hello, everyone. I cast my vote for Megs to be the winner of BBH 20. Love you.
Megs. Next vote goes to...
I forgot what the format is supposed to be, but I vote for Megs to be winner of BBH 20. I vote for Megs to win BBH 20.
Megs. Third vote.
I vote for Megs to win BBH Season 20. Mother was mothering the whole time.
Megs. Vote number 4.
I very happily vote for Megs to win Big Brother Hometowns 20. She played an amazing game, and the fact that she made it to final 2 after how she came into this game and how she played is amazing. And Megs to win.
To Megs.
I am extremely proud to vote for Megs. I hope you get to join the winner circle with Lauren this season. Mwah.
Yeah, I'm voting for Megs to win the season. Thanks.
I cast my vote for Megs to be the winner of BBH 20. You killed it, Megs.
Because I couldn't vote you out of this game, I'm gonna vote you to win. Congrats on an incredible game. Megs, you killed it, and I wish you the best of luck in everything, and I can't wait to see you. So yep, good luck, good job, Megs. You're the winner of the season.
I proudly vote for Megs to win this game. She got me good. And yeah, vote for Megs to win. Bye.
Votes numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to the winner of Big Brother Hometowns Season 20. Megs, congratulations, you have done it. Come off of mute and give us your immediate thoughts.
I'm so grateful. This seriously, I've said it at a time and time again. This has been my absolute favorite season. I played my heart out. I poured it into this game, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it and that we could all be friends after this. I've never played such a positive game and just been able to showcase all of my skills. And I'm so happy that I'm going to have so many friends out of this. Usually it's like 1 or 2 people that I can hang on to, but this cast has really been incredible. And it was hard voting every one of you out. It wasn't hard decisions. It was hard votes. And I'm just so grateful.
Congrats, Megs.
Megs, you are absolutely unbelievable. What an incredible winner. The second, that's what I was checking is we didn't know if you were the first or the second, but you are the second perfect game in BBH history, not a vote to evict and sweeps the jury, which is pretty remarkable. We haven't had a unanimous winner since season 11. So just absolutely ate this thing up. And even having you back this season was a dream. And now for you to win it, oh my goodness, we are just over the moon for you. And just, I am thrilled for you. And Michael, you hang your head up high because you really did surprise a lot of people, including myself, in how well you did in this. And it's not even just about making to the end. It's like, and you may have struggled with some, like, remembering certain things tonight. Don't worry about all of that. That's really unimportant. You knew what you were doing in this game, very, very much so. And the jury, even though they did not vote for you tonight, had a lot of really, really great things to say about you in the lead up to tonight. So really incredibly proud, and you do belong here. Absolutely, you do belong here. You said that earlier in the night, and it's very, very true. Anyone else on production have any other things they want to say before we wrap this up?
I'll
say that at the reunion.
Megs, thanks for helping me win my third consecutive.
Oh my gosh. One thing that you guys probably have heard a little bit about, the pre-jurors got to see it, and so the jury will get theirs as well. Before the season started, we all we did a like a specific podcast type show for each one of the players. So with specific guests in the community, Megs, Lauren was on yours, Michael, Anthony was on yours, and those were really fun. So you'll get to see all that and so much more in the reunion chat. To the viewers, thank you so much for being on the ride with us this season. It was a ton of fun with every day of morning tea and with all of the comps and all of the chit chat and everything that you guys did to invest in watching this game was just remarkable and so much fun. And of course, to the players, every one of you poured out your entire soul into this, like Megs just said. And it means the world to us because we do this for you guys to have this experience and for you guys to give it what you gave it in a season that means so much to us. It's incredible. And I am humbled every single second of it. But I'm not going to ramble on anymore. That's it for Big Brother season 20.
We do have one more announcement.
Wait, I don't know what you're going to say.
America's favorite player.
Oh. I don't even know who it is.
Look at the project.
I will look at the project. Let's America's favorite player. And by America, we just mean the VL because people are not all just in America. I don't know what the percentage is, but I know the winner is a lot. By a lot. Congratulations, Michael. You are America's favorite player this season. I don't even know how many votes in there, but you won by a landslide. So the people love you, and how could they not? So yeah, we're gonna hop off here, go over to the reunion chat. But for my entire production team, for our runner-up Michael, and the winner of Big Brother Hometowns season 20, Megs, I'm Josh Gonsalvo. We're signing off, and we'll be back for season 21 in a long time. I'm about to be a dad. It's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. But we'll be back for 21 sometime in the new year. We love you all so much, and good night.